Going on, everybody? Welcome to the Wager Zone podcast, and we're back with another MMA breakdown for PFL 8. We wanted to get this video out yesterday, but we just couldn't get the video out. We had a lot of stuff to do, but hey, we're getting the video out for you guys today. The fights come on today at 3:30, so let's get this video out right now so you guys can go and place your bets. First bet of the day, this first fight of the day actually is gonna be Michelle Montague taking on Marilla Morales. And this is gonna be the first leg of a two-leg parlay. I'm gonna be taking the under 2.5 in this fight. I do think that Michelle Montague is actually going to get the submission. I think she's way levels above Martilla. She also is a minus 2,500 favorite. So I think taking the under 2.5 is actually a better line. It's actually set at a minus 400, but it's better line than a minus 2,500 because I do think Michelle's going to go in there and get the takedown, end up getting a submission, or maybe get a ground and pound finish. And it also saves you from, just in case Marilla actually pulls off a stunning finish as well. But I doubt that's going to happen. I think Michelle is, like I said, is way levels above her. I'm going to be taking the under 2.5, and I'm going to be making that into a two-leg parlay, and I'll let you know what I'm going to be parlaying that with. This is going to be the second leg of the parlay. This fight's going to be Jordan Oliver taking on Braden Akio, and we're going to be taking the under 2.5 in this one. I think the line actually is set at under 1.5. You can get under 2.5 at a minus 325. But if you parlay those two together, both of the under 2.5s, it comes out to a minus 180. And I think that's a pretty good line. I think there's going to be finishes of both of these fights. Like I said, I think the first fight with Michelle, I think she's going to get a takedown and end up getting a submission. And in this fight, I think Jordan Oliver is going to go in there and get a takedown within the first 30 seconds to a minute of the fight, and then end up getting a ground and pound finish, maybe in the first round, or a submission, maybe getting him on an arm triangle. But yeah, I'm pretty confident in these two plays. I think they're both going to end up in finishes, so I'm taking under 2.5 in both of these, and that's going to be a two-leg parlay for you guys. This is going to be another two-leg parlay I'm going to be making for you guys. This fight's going to be Thad Jean versus Chris Brown, and Thad Jean hits really hard, guys. He's a young prospect that has fast hands and he hits really hard, and he's fighting a guy in Chris Brown, where Chris Brown actually has been around the block. He's had about 8 fights in LFA. He's had like 3 or 4 fights in PFL, so he's actually had a lot of fights, and he does pretty well. And he's always usually competitive, but I do think that Jean's going to end up catching that chin. I think Chris Brown, he's never been knocked out in his career, and I think this could be the first time he actually gets knocked out in his whole career. I think Thad Jean is very accurate. He lands some hard shots, and yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of Thad Jean, honestly. I think he's actually a really good prospect for the PFL, and yeah, I think he's going to end up getting the knockout. I can see him getting the first person to knock out Chris Brown. Chris Brown has some unorthodox movements. He likes to hit you with some shots that you don't see coming, and not some shots that are like not usually there. But if this fight was about like 3 or 4 years ago, and then Thad Jean was like 23, 22, and Chris Brown was about 33 years old, I'd probably be taking Chris Brown. But now he's 35, and he's getting up there in age, and Thad Jean is coming up to the prime of his career, so I'm going to be taking Thad Jean to win this fight. I think he's going to win by knockout, but I'm going to be adding him to a two-leg parlay, and I'll let you know who I'm going to parlay him with. Another fight. This is going to be another bet. This is the third bet of the day. This is probably the most competitive fight of the night that's actually going to be on the card. It's going to be Elvin Espinosa taking on Mads Bernell, and we're going to be on the underdog side. It's going to be a slight underdog play. He was the favorite. A lot of money has came in on Mads Bernell. Now Espinosa is a plus 105. I do think he's going to be able to get the takedowns. Espinosa is a guy that shoots nonstop takedowns, and he doesn't really gas out. He likes to put the pressure on you, and he doesn't let you pretty much breathe. And a guy in Mads Bernell, he has good grappling, but he doesn't have really good takedown defense. I see that when he gets to the floor, he actually knows what to do pretty well. He has good jiu-jitsu, but when he's fighting a guy in Elvin Espinosa that has good jiu-jitsu as well, and he's very comfortable there, I don't think Mads Bernell is going to actually be able to do anything he wants to and be able to get back up. Where Espinosa seems like he has the better hands, and he throws a lot of jabs and 1-2s, and he throws some pretty heavy hooks as well, because he tries to get into the takedown. He's the guy that throws a straight right hand and going straight into a single leg right after. So I like how he seems like how he fights. I like how he always pushes the pressure. I like how he takes takedowns, and he's always moving for a different position. So I'm going to be taking an underdog play at a plus 105. I'm going to be taking Elvin Espinosa in this one, guys. This fight is going to be Danny Sabatello taking on Lazaro Dayron, and I'm going to be taking the under 1.5 in this fight. Oh, actually, my bad, guys. The over 1.5 in this fight. I think this fight's going to be able to go to decision. The line is actually set at over 1.5. The line where you get the over 2.5 is a pick'em, but if you get the over 1.5 at a minus 260, I think that's a really good line. I'm going to be adding that to another parlay. I think this fight's going to end going to decision. Danny Sabatello is a minus 1,000 favorite, but I can see Dayron being actually a live underdog, guys. If you guys want to catch an underdog and maybe get a live underdog, Dayron might be actually a good underdog, because I think this fight's going to go to decision. I think it's going to be kind of competitive. Way more competitive than a minus 1,000 favorite, in my opinion. I don't know why people are putting a lot of money on Danny Sabatello. He's not really that good of a fighter, in my opinion. And yeah, I'm going to be taking over 1.5, because I do think this fight's going to be get some time ticking on it. I think it's going to be a a competitive match going back and forth, maybe a lot of grappling transitions, and just wasting time. So I'm going to be adding it to a two-leg parlay. I'll let you know who I'm going to be adding him to. So yeah, guys, I'm going to be taking the over 1.5 in this fight. And Lazario Dayron is actually a live dog if you guys actually want another underdog play. But I'm not going to be betting on underdog on him. I'm going to be taking the over 1.5. But I know people like some giant underdogs, and he might be a one that hits tonight. Guys, I'm going to be adding this fight actually to 2 different parlays. It's going to be added to one 4 or 5 leg parlay, and the other one is going to be added to that second leg of the other parlay I'm telling you, with the over 1.5 in the Sabatella fight. I'm going to be taking the Biagio Ali Walsh in this fight. I'm going to be taking him to win this fight. So one of the parlays I'm going to be putting him, he's going to be the first leg of a 4 or 5 fight parlay where I'm going to be taking a lot of heavy favorites that I'm confident in. I do think he's going to get the first round knockout. I don't think this guy, Brian Stapleton, can actually take a punch really that good. So I'm going to be taking him by knockout. So the bet I'm going to be making, first one, I'm going to be saying I'm adding him to that giant 5-leg parlay, and then he's going to be the second leg of the parlay with the over 1.5 in the Sabatella fight. I'm going to be taking the under 1.5 in this one. The line is actually set at a minus 230 for the under 1.5, and I see why. I think he's going to get the first round knockout, and if it does get to the second round, I think that Stapleton will probably be gassed out by the time the second round starts, and probably be taking a lot of punishment, and then he'll be ready to get knocked out in the first 2 minutes of the second round. So I'm going to be taking Ali Walsh in this one. I think he's going to be able to get the knockout in the first round, and I'm going to be taking the under 1.5 as well in the second leg of that parlay. Next fight, this is going to be the second leg of that parlay, the 4 or 5 leg parlay. I'll let you guys know exactly if it's 4 or 5 legs. I can't remember at the moment. As we go along with this video, I'll let you guys know if it's 4 or 5 legs. I think it's 5, but as of right now, I'm going to tell you guys the second leg of the parlay, we're going to be taking Brent Primis. This fight's going to be Brent Primis taking on Clay Collard. And Brent Primis is actually a great grappler. He's shown that he has heavy hands. And Clay Collard, a lot of people are actually a lot of big fans of him because they say he's a dogfight. He always gives up dogfights. But I'm not a really big fan of Clay Collard. I think every single time you put your chips into him and you actually start believing in him, he ends up losing the fight. So I'm going to be taking Brent Primis. I think Brent Primis has fought the higher competition. I think Brent Primis is a better grappler. I think he hits harder. Maybe Clay Collard has a better technical striking, but I think Brent Primis is going to be able to get this fight to the floor and maybe get a submission victory. But I'm going to be adding Brent Primis to the second leg of that parlay with Ali Walsh. And yeah, Brent Primis is a minus 200, so it adds a lot of value to that parlay, and I'll let you guys know who else I'm putting in that parlay. The third leg of that parlay is going to be Radov taking on Michael Dufor, and we're going to be taking Radov in this fight. I think he's going to be able to get the takedowns with ease. I think Michael Dufor, he's really good at jiu-jitsu, so he just likes to pull guard, and he accepts the takedowns all the time. He doesn't really try to stop takedowns as much, and he's not going to be able to submit Gadzi. I think Radov is a better grappler than he is. I think he's going to be able to take him down and maybe either get a finish or just dominate him for 3 rounds straight. So yeah, I'm not going to take too much longer in this fight. I think it's going to be an all-out domination by Radov, and I think he's going to either get his first round submission or maybe even get all 3 rounds where he just dominates and gets a 30-27 on all scorecards, or maybe even a 30-26. But yeah, guys, that's going to be the third leg of the parlay, and I'm going to be taking Radov on this one. Guys, in this one, it's going to be Rob Wilkinson taking on Dovlet. I think it's Yaromiradov. I think it is. But yeah, we're going to be taking Rob Wilkinson in this one. We're going to be taking a straight money line play on him. He's a minus 170 at the moment. And I just think he's an all-around better fighter. I don't think Dovlet's going to be able to get the fight to the floor. And when he does stand, he seems very slow, and he's way too patient for my liking. He likes to stand there and tries to land a hard shot. He throws spinning back fists. He throws a lot of heavy strikes. But I think Rob Wilkinson has fought a lot of higher competition where he's seen a lot of that stuff already. You're not going to be able to catch him with something crazy like that. And he fights out of a good gym in Factorette's Muay Thai, and I don't think you're going to be able to stand with this guy and do a lot of those crazy strikes with him. And if you try to take him down, Rob Wilkinson has shown that he has really good takedown defense. So I'm going to be taking Rob Wilkinson in this fight, guys. I think he's going to be able to win a decision or maybe even get a knockout in the second round. But yeah, I'm going to be taking Rob Wilkinson in this one on a straight money line play. This is going to be the last leg of the fourth leg of the parlay with that other parlay. I'm putting Ali Walsh, Brent Primis, and Radov in. We're going to be taking Impa Kasaganai, the last leg parlay. I think Impa is just a way better fighter, to be honest. I think Josh Silveria is just going to get knocked out. I think he leaves his chin up way too much. I think he likes to strike too much for my liking, especially with somebody with Impa that hits really hard. When I was breaking down Impa's fights in the UFC, I was saying, guys, I'm going to be taking betting against Impa a lot in the UFC. But as soon as he went to PFL, I was like, guys, I'm going to be putting a lot of money on Impa now. But yeah, I'm going to be taking Impa Kasaganai, and this one is the last leg of the parlay. It's a good hedge out spot because it's the last leg of the whole entire night, last fight of the whole entire night. So it's a good hedge out spot. So if we get to this last play where we hit all 3 legs of the other parlay, and now we come down to Impa, I'm going to be taking a little slight shot on Josh just to hedge out the play, just so if we can win some money back or maybe take a little slight win. But yeah, guys, my pick's gonna be Impa-Saganai. I think he's gonna be able to get the knockout in the first and second round, and I'm pretty confident in this play. That's why he's gonna be added to that parlay. And I think I said it's 4 legs, but I'm gonna be adding a 5th leg to that parlay. I'm gonna be putting the first fight of the night in Michelle, I think it's Michelle Margarani or something like that. I can't remember her name, but I'm going to be adding her to the parlay. So it is a 5-leg parlay. She's a minus 2,500, so she's not going to be adding too much value to it, but it does add something to it just to put another name in there. So it is actually a 5-leg parlay. And yeah, guys, that's it for PFL 8. Hopefully we do great. We got about 6 bets on this card, and I check out the description. I'm going to be adding all the bets on the description. I might be adding a couple more bets that I haven't talked about on here. I might add some over-under parlays, add some winners of parlays on there. So check out the description. I'm going to be adding all the bets on there I'm going to be making for the day. I'm going to be in Vegas. I'm actually leaving in right now. I'm going to be heading to Vegas. The next video I'm making the UFC 305. I'm going to be actually in Vegas filming it from my hotel room. So yeah, guys, I will see you guys later on tonight. I'm going to be at the Craig Jones Invitational, and yeah, guys, I'll see you guys later on tonight. I'll be having another UFC 305 video. So like the video, comment on the video, let me know if you guys have any bets for this PFL 8. Subscribe to the page, come back every single day for soccer bets, come back every single week for some MMA breakdown. And I'm out of here, guys. I'll see you guys later on tonight for UFC 305.